Mai departe, cred că ar fi util să vorbim de ce ar putea să presupună industria și ce ar putea să însemne, de fapt, factorii 4.0, dacă este să ne gândim la un sistem integrat și cum ar putea să fie abordat acest sistem de fiecare companie sau de fiecare business în parte. Și pentru acest moment îl invit pe domnul Horia Todoran, General Manager la Bosch Rexroth România. Este aici alături de noi. Bună ziua, vă mulțumesc tare mult pentru prezență. Haideți să vedem dacă funcționează microfonul și totul e în regulă.
Perfect, cred că funcționează.
Mulțumesc.
Super. Thank you very much for the introduction, first of all, and thank you to the organizers. It's a great event, and it's our pleasure that we can also attend. Perfect, thank you very much. Today, we would like to share with you what we believe is one of the biggest challenge, one of the main important challenge when it comes to Industry 4.0, when it comes to industrial digitalization. And we are also making a proposal, and from our point of view, the solution is open and enables co-creation. Looking a little bit at the landscape today, Industry 4.0 is not yet very specific. The big picture for Industry 4.0 is quite unclear. There are a lot of solitary solutions in the market. And as Mr. Tashka mentioned before, Industry 4.0 has to be an investment. We just do it because we want to have some benefits out of it. For sure, there has to be a return on investment. And from our point of view, if we want to have the biggest outcome, we should see Industry 4.0 as a system. So there should be a system approach. Perfect. I would like to bring you a little bit on a factory level. And our factories, the landscape of today is quite similar with the one we had 15 years ago. So we have two domains. There is the operational domain and there is the informational domain. And both of them, with the 80s, started to develop themselves quite fast due to the introduction of computers. If for the IT domain, data security and scalability is important, if we go into the operational domain and the shop floor, there we have machine and operator safety. So it's quite a different approach between these two domains. But also 50 years ago and starting then, the world was quite predictable. Our preferences were quite predictable. We did not change so fast. Things were not so fast changing. But today we live in this VUCA world. Everything is uncertain, or a lot of things are uncertain. Everything is more complex. And in order to be successful from now on, we need systems which are flexible, which bring transparency and speed. And from our point of view, in order to be able to solve these topics, to have these three characteristics, we have to automate change. What do we understand by this? A connected factory, a factory of the future, should enable us to change quite fast. Meaning, if I want to reschedule my production in my plant, if I want to balance the production between different plants of the same production network, then I have to involve a lot of departments on the entire company. But in the same time, I have to make sure that all the levels of the automation pyramid are also involved. So changes in production are an end-to-end process. I cannot just do it only involving one step. And in order to make sure that I have this system working, I have to be able to have a vertical alignment between all these levels. Unfortunately, since we started using computers in the production side in the industry, the IT and the OT world, they developed themselves quite fast at a high maturity level, Nevertheless, there is a firewall in between. So the development was more horizontal and not vertical. And this is actually, and Mr. Tashka mentioned before, it's making things quite difficult when it comes to change. It's frustrating, it's time-consuming, and it's slow. And looking at the OT part, OT domain, so in the operations, here we have some big ecosystems. They're monoliths, they're big, they are slow, and if we want to implement something fast, it's almost impossible. A second challenge is that these two domains have actually different languages, or use different languages, different programming languages. So again, it's hard to find a common ground. Within Bosch Rexroth, we are developing our products and our portfolio having 3 horizons. So it's the now, it's the next, and beyond. Today, if we look at our plants, it's very easy. We have the mechatronics, it's precise, it's robust, it's fast. So we have highest efficiency. There is the integration capability almost everywhere, and IoT ready, Industry 4.0 ready, more and more components are part of the portfolios. The next horizon, and here we discuss of a horizon where robotics and artificial intelligence are already being used in a broad scale, meaning they already bring value within the value stream. The next one, robotics, yes, we have a roboter, a classic one. Nevertheless, today we have mobile roboters. So intralogistics is already being changed. Artificial intelligence will increase the efficiency and the speed. We will be able to have more efficient processes. And the communication standards with the 5G open again new worlds. But for us, the challenge is to envision the factory of the future. And the factory of the future has to be connected, variable, and wireless. Why we say connected and variable, and here is how we see things. In the future, the product will influence how the assembly will be organized within the shop floor. So production order can change the layout of the shop floor, having different mobile carriers, in order to make sure that that batch, that order will be produced as efficient as possible. Wireless, it's clear we need consistent availability of data, real-time data, and going back a little bit, real-time data in the IT domain and in the OT domain. In order to achieve this state, the factory of the future, and looking into the need to have a vertical integration between the OT and IT domains, our proposal to solve this challenge is Control-X automation. And with Control-X automation, we are 2 steps ahead. And I will also explain a little bit why we consider we are 2 steps ahead. The automation solution, the automation Control-X automation platform has been launched already a couple of years back. First of all, we have no proprietary system or interfaces. So you're open to connect to any other hardware and software. Free choice of programming languages. This means I can use the IT programming language, I can use the OT programming language on the same hardware, on the same ecosystem. Again, we are free. We are bringing app programming technology to automation. So what we know from smartphones, we have now within automation. And due to the web-based engineering, we even reduce the time, the engineering time needed, meaning that we reduce the time to market for every line, for every product. And this is now. What we have done to go to the next step, is open ourselves to the entire world. That's why we have ControlX World, where third parties have been invited and are already contributing with apps to this ecosystem. There are more than 70 partners, some of them also in this room now with us, who contribute, who have already apps in our ControlX World. And what we bring to the table is an ecosystem which can connect with everything, almost with everything. So we have the 5G, we have the MQT and the API protocols. I mentioned before that for IT, data security is paramount. What we have done with ControlX actually is make sure that it's safe by design. So, and safe by design not only on the IT side, but also on the OT side, and this has been already certified by TÜV. So from this point of view, whoever contributes with the ControlX is in a safe place. And what we also brought extremely nice is with this ControlX device portal, you know, software is very easy to update. Now we can do it also in the operational side. So it's easy to update service, it's easy to bring new functionalities because of these characteristics. And now beyond, and this is probably the boldest thing we have done in Bosch Rexroth until now, is the fact that we have ControlX OS, so it's the operating system which we are actually bringing as a separate solution for industrial environments. So we are opening ourselves that the ControlX OS can be also installed in third-party hardware. It's still open and expandable, easy scalable, and what is nice, we can connect everything from the field, so OT part towards the edge and to the cloud, and again we have a seamless vertical integration of the automation pyramid. Let's have a short movie. So with ControlX automation, we laid the groundwork for the factory of the future. It's open and it enables co-creation. At the end of the day, the future is ours to create. Our proposal is, let's create it together. Thank you.
Mulțumim foarte mult, domnule Todoran, pentru prezentare și pentru lucrurile interesante. Dacă sunt întrebări pentru domnul Todoran, oricum menționez că mâine va fi o zi în care vor exista discuții legate de toate cele pe care le-au menționat speakerii astăzi.